Good morning, everyone. Those who wish to be seated, please come be seated. Fill in if you will. Our memorial will begin shortly. Good morning again. Welcome and thank you all for coming. To start our memorial service, we'll invite Fire Captain David Neighbors to the podium to deliver the invocation. Captain Neighbors.
Please bow with me in prayer. Lord, I just thank you, first of all, for the friends, the family, our police community, our fire community, our K-9 community that's here today to comfort Firefighter Sevener, his family, our K-9 unit, and the St. Louis Fire Department in this time of mourning. I just thank you for providing that comfort. I just ask that you be here with us during this service and provide the speakers the wisdoms, words that will bring comfort to this family and to us all in this loss of Balko. In Jesus' name, amen.
In reflecting and preparing for this morning in the opening remarks, I struggled. Even in the planning of this memorial service, we all struggled because this was a first. In 2022, the law enforcement community lost 25 K-9s in the line of duty. But I struggled to find the words, to find examples of a K-9 losing its life in the fire service. So I turned to Facebook. And while I was on Facebook, I went down the rabbit hole and I came upon a post of a good friend of mine who's actually retiring. And in his post, he quoted Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. And in that chapter, it says that there is a time for everything. Well, today is a time for mourning and grieving our lost K-9 member, Balko. Heroes come in all different sizes, shapes, and forms. And it's not necessarily what he or she looks like, but it's the actions in which they performed. And yes, Balko was a hero because he was trained and he performed heroically while executing his actions. Please welcome to the stage the Fire Chief of the St. Louis Fire Department, Dennis M. Jinkerson.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time to help the St. Louis Fire Department honor and grieve a very important and respected member of our department's special response units. Balko of the St. Louis Fire Department K-9 and Specialist Response Team used his special talents to provide a higher level of response and service for the St. Louis Fire Department, thus providing the citizens of this city and our region with a level of protection that is rarely, if ever, matched by any fire department across this country. His service, devotion, and dedication will always be remembered, as he was one of the original members of the St. Louis Fire Department K-9 Special Response Team, of which we are all very proud. I'm going to end with a short statement as we have several speakers here today. Dogs are not our whole life, but they make our lives whole. I'd like to introduce now the Honorable Mayor of the City of St. Louis, Tashara Jones.
Good morning, and thank you for being here today as we mourn the loss of Balko. As a recent dog owner myself, I know how dogs can pull people together, especially in service. Dogs like Balko are trained their entire lives for this line of work. And he played a critical role in the fire department and assisted in responding to several high-profile events. To his family, his handler, Michael Sevener, and the entire St. Louis Fire Department, you're in my prayers as we mourn his loss and lift up his life. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Next speaker is the Director of Public Safety for the City of St. Louis, Director Charles Coyle.
Good morning, everyone. I am actually also a member of the St. Louis Fire Department family, so this is important and special to me. The passing of Balko is a tremendous loss for the St. Louis Fire Department family, and he will be missed. We extend our deepest sympathies for Michael, the Sumner family. Balko was a member of this family. Michael was his trainer, his confidant, his friend, which is a very important part when you have an animal in your life. Balko was one of the finest K-9s that has served with the St. Louis Fire Department with distinction. He was 6 years old, and he worked with many first responders. Balko was a highly trained and skilled K-9 cadaver dog who had a remarkable ability to locate human remains, evidence, and other essentials at fireground operations. He was known for his gentle and passionate personality from the people that knew him. On March 3rd, 2023, Balko was called into duty to assist the St. Louis Police Department in a building search of the Railroad Exchange building in downtown St. Louis. He paid the ultimate price, and despite the efforts of the first responders, he could not be saved. We thank Balko for his service to our community and his unwavering dedication to his duties. He served with honor and distinction, and his contributions will not be forgotten. He will always be remembered as a brave and loyal companion in the St. Louis Fire Department. Rest in peace, Balko. Your service and sacrifice will always be remembered. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Coyle. My next remarks might get me in a little bit of trouble, but I had the opportunity to hang out with a few of our K-9 members, and I'm looking at Armar over here, and I'd visit the 26s, and Armar was just always hype, right? Always ready to run up on you, and I don't have a dog any longer, but I love dogs, but Armar was just a little too much for me. But then I'd come here to the ones, and I'd hang out, and Balko was just so chill. I didn't think I was really going to say that, but I don't know of another way to describe just so chill. We had a young man that was in town and was at Children's Hospital, and he was here for a surgery that only Children's Hospital can provide. And his dad was a firefighter abroad. So they reached out to us and they wanted to, get a ride on a fire truck and visit a fire station, a firehouse. So we picked them up from Children's and we brought them here. And guess who was here eagerly, I would say open arms, but you all know because you're dog lovers. And Balko was just so chill and the young man just loved him so, so much. So I hope that doesn't get me in trouble with Armor, but Balko was really chill. Calling up to the stage now is one of two captains that oversee our K-9 unit. They've done a phenomenal job in fundraising, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Mike Dasher is here as well. He is on the end, but we're calling to the stage right now Fire Captain Leon Whitener.
Good morning, and thank all of you for being here with us to honor the loss of our fallen companion, Balko. I don't have this in my prepared remarks, but I'm surprised that Chief Jenkinson did not share this story. So I'm going to share it. Balko came to us from Germany, and he was stationed in North St. Louis with Firefighter 7er. And initially, there were some command issues that were going on with Balko, and we didn't know exactly what was going on. Well, we failed to realize that Balko was trained in German. The commands he was given were not in English, so we quickly found out that Balko, all of his commands were German language, and Firefighter 7er had to adjust to, for him and Balko to continue as partners, but they adjusted and did very well. So as Captain Mosby said, my name is Leon Whitener. I'm a captain with the St. Louis Fire Department, and for the last year and a half, I've had the honor, privilege, and pleasure of being a senior advisor over a K-9 search and rescue team. And for over a decade now, I've been a performance field judge for the American Kennel Club, so you could say I spend a lot of time with the animal that we have coined man's best friend. There's something that's undeniably special about our K-9 friends. The soul of this animal can touch the soul of a person so deeply. No other animal can be what our K-9s are to us. They are our protectors, they are our comforters, they are our loyal companions. They are intelligent, loving, always greeting us with tail wags and happy barks. We share our homes with them. We share our families with them. We share our lives with them. They carve out their own special chapters in each of our lives. This position I've held with our K-9 Search and Rescue Team has given me a front row seat to witness firsthand the bond between our handlers and their K-9 partners. It's amazing to witness how two distinct souls from two distinct creatures can come together and synergize to become one unit, each understanding the other's wants and needs, each keenly aware of the other's motion and energy. I don't know who becomes more like the other. I don't know if the dog becomes more like the handler or the handler becomes more like the dog. But you can definitely see there is compromise for the two to become one. In the case of Firefighter 7er and Balko, this partnership was one that was matched as well as any match could be made. Firefighter 7er was very patient with Balko, and Balko needed that. See, Balko was not a high drive, what we call a high drive K-9, like our Belgian Malinois and our Dutch Shepherds. Balko was a hound. He was methodical and intentional. He didn't have any wasted movement. He took his time. So for someone like me that can be a little impatient, I would have rushed him, but not Firefighter 7er. He understood his partner. He understood what he needed. He understood how Balko worked. It was evident they worked very well together. Balko and Firefighter 7er were a most accomplished team, bringing closure to multiple cases. In the Bible, in the book of Proverbs 12:10, it says, "A righteous man regards the life of his animal." Firefighter 7er, hold your head high, for the Lord has declared you a righteous man. Anyone that has seen you in interaction with Balko has witnessed firsthand your regard for your animal. Since this tragedy, many people have asked me about Firefighter 7er and the rest of our team and how we're doing. And I've shared with them, if we as a team and if we as handlers do not mourn the loss of our K-9 partners, we have done a disservice to that K-9. With that said, I know that we served Balko well, and I know that he served us and this community even better. I'm going to close with a short poem that came to me while I was laying around in reflection, and I simply call it The Bark. I had a job to do, and I believe I did it well. I had a job to do, and I believe I did excel. I didn't do it for the money, and I definitely didn't do it for the fame. I only did it well just to hear you call my name. Good boy, Balko, you would always say. And that's all I ever needed to brighten up my day. I was the nose you needed to find what others could not. You were the love I wanted, and I'm so glad you didn't name me Spot. Balko, Balko is what I responded to. Thank you for allowing me to do what I was called to do. I did my job with my nose to the ground. Thanks, Engine House 1, for allowing me to hang around. A working dog I was, and a house dog too. I had my family home and my firehouse crew. Justifiably proud, I will always be. I'm resting easy now. Carry on for me. Thank you.
We've spoken about him all morning, and I'm not referring to Balko. We've talked about Firefighter Brent Sevner. And prior to this morning, he wasn't going to speak, but he will. So I need everyone to please help me show him how supported he and his family are by a round of applause as he makes his way to the stage, please.
First, I want to thank everyone for coming on out, the support for my family, the department, and everyone. The K-9 team has been great. The outpouring from across the nation has just been awesome, and we really, really want to thank you for that. The night Balko died, we didn't just lose a working member of the fire department. We lost a family member. He was part of my family at home with my kids. He was part of the K-9 team. And he was part of the family of the St. Louis Fire Department. He loved coming to work. When we'd wake up in the morning and I'd grab my backpack, he'd get excited knowing that he was getting ready to come into work. The whole drive in, he'd be barking in his crate, just excited to come in. Come in into the engine house, and he had all of his favorite people he'd like to see. He'd be waiting for somebody to make popcorn so he could scoop it up off the ground. You know, he loved the different guys in the house. You know, some of the guys would pet him. I mean, he was in love with Josh Phillips. He was in love with Josh. But the night he was lost, you know, we all lost a family member and a friend. I couldn't ask for a better partner than Balko. I mean, he was top of the line. He will be missed, but we can always strive with our K-9 teams to do as well as he did. We can strive to train our dogs to be as successful and as, you know, diligent as him. We can train, you know, all across the board, not just our K-9 team, but the police department. I mean, the best way to honor Balko is just to train and get them to the level that he was at. Thank you.
Before we let Firefighter Sevner leave the stage, I would like to welcome the Honorable Mayor Tashara Jones back to the stage for a presentation.
Firefighter Sevner and your family, again, we honor and mourn the loss of your friend, your companion. And it is my honor to present this proclamation to you to declare today Balko Day in the city of St. Louis.
Thank you.
Stay right there, Firefighter Sevner. I'd like to welcome the State Fire Marshal, Tim Bean, who has a presentation for you on behalf of the Governor of the state of Missouri.
Yes, on behalf of the Governor and Director Karsten and myself as the State Fire Marshal, we want to salute the service of Balko and give you this certificate in its honor. It's 3.5 years of service. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It's been mentioned before. Before we close, I want to thank the many supporters. I see members from the 10-8 Project off to the side. They do a tremendous job in helping us fundraise and provide for our K-9 team. Purina as well. And my apologies if I'm overlooking anyone specifically, but thank you so much to our law enforcement community and surrounding fire agencies for supporting us. Now we'll bring Captain David Neighbors to the stage for the benediction.
Please bow with me in prayer. Lord, as we conclude this service today for Balko, I just ask that you continue to remind all of us to continue to provide comfort to the Sevener family, our K-9 team, and provide them support. I ask that you continue to look over all first responders, both K-9 and human, as we go about our daily duties in protecting the citizens.
That concludes our memorial service for K-9 Balko. Again, thank you all so much for coming.